A passport ranking refers to a system that ranks different countries' passports based on the number of destinations their holders can travel to without needing a prior visa. The Passport Index compares passports mainly on their visa-free travel options, but also on how welcoming the countries are to visiting foreigners. In its ranking, the Passport Index looks at 193 United Nations member countries and 6 territories. The Passport Index ranks passports based on a total visa-free score, which assigns passports a point for each country their holders can visit without a visa or with a visa on arrival. Let us examine which are the top 10 countries whose citizens are unwelcome in the world. Let us start. Number 10. Ethiopia. Ethiopia, in the Horn of Africa, is a landlocked country split by the Great Rift Valley. With archaeological finds dating back more than 3 million years, it's a place of ancient culture. The institutions responsible for issuing passports in Ethiopia have been criticized for their unprofessionalism, lack of education, and corruption. The human rights situation in Ethiopia has been precarious, with government security forces, militias, and non-state armed groups responsible for systematic abuses with impunity. Travelers have reported being harassed at airports and demanded to pay bribes for exit stamps. Ethiopians can visit 14 countries without visa and get visa on arrival in 43 countries. Number 9. Nepal. Nepal is a country in Asia along the southern slopes of the Himalaya. It is a landlocked country located between India and Tibet. The passport's poor standing may be linked to how it was used during the Maoist insurgency. Many Nepalese sought asylum in the West after arriving on temporary visas. The passport's weakness may also be linked to Nepal's economic conditions. Citizens' propensity to overstay their visas or live illegally in the nations they travel to may be a factor. Nepalese get visa-free entry in 14 countries and visa on arrival in 41 countries. Number 8. Eritrea. Eritrea is a country located in East Africa, touching borders with Sudan, Ethiopia, and Djibouti. Eritrea got its independence in 1993 from Ethiopia, but the border disputes have not been solved. Internet access is limited to hotels and a small number of internet cafes. The internet is very slow and there is no 3G in the country. Isaias Afwerki is president of the country since independence, and no elections have ever been held since then. Ironically, there are no ATMs in the country. There is no access to any social media too. Some indigenous people face discrimination and other persecution. Women conscripts face sexual violence. The nation's long-standing political and social challenges have impacted its global standing, resulting in a passport that offers less travel freedom. People can travel to 13 countries without visa and get visa on arrival in 40 countries. This country is nicknamed as North Korea of Africa. Number 7. North Korea. North Korea is a country in East Asia. It constitutes the northern half of the Korean peninsula and borders China and Russia. A North Korean passport is considered weak, primarily due to the country's severe political isolation, international sanctions, and strict government controls that heavily restrict travel for its citizens. North Korea's isolated political situation further limits diplomatic relations and travel opportunities for its citizens. The dictator Kim Jong-un has made the country an open prison. North Koreans can travel to 12 countries without visa and can acquire visa on arrival in 41 countries. Number 6. Pakistan. Pakistan is a country in South Asia. It is the 5th most populous country with a population of over 241.5 million, having the 2nd largest Muslim population in the world. One of the reasons Pakistani passport is so weak is their link with terrorism. Many UN-designated international terrorists live in Pakistan with impunity. Around 1/4 of the Pakistani population lives below the poverty line. Other reasons include weak government and the threat of some Pakistan passport holders overstaying their visas. Pakistanis abroad are found to be involved in crimes like illegal entry, theft, begging, rapes, and vandalism. Pakistanis can travel to 12 countries without visa and need visa on arrival in 35 countries. And number 5, Yemen. Yemen is a country in West Asia in the southern Arabian Peninsula. It borders Saudi Arabia, Oman, and the Indian Ocean. Low ranking of Yemenis' passport is a result of the ongoing civil war and a war with Saudi Arabia in the country since 2014, which has led to severe famine and civil unrest. Yemen has problems like terrorism, civil unrest, crime, health risks, kidnapping, armed conflict, and landmines. The repercussions of these crises not only affect the citizens' well-being, but also weaken the standing of their passports on a global scale. Yemenis can travel to 12 countries without passport, and they get visa on arrival in 30 countries. Number 4. Iraq. The weak Iraqi passport is a result of factors such as terrorism, poverty, and social issues faced by the country. Iraq possesses the world's second-largest oil reserves. But despite this, Iraqi citizens have endured coups, revolutions, and conflicts with Kuwait and Iran. International sanctions and the lasting effects of the 2003 US invasion of Iraq further aggravated the problems. In recent years, Iraq has made strides. Still, the country has faced challenges like the rise of the terrorist organization ISIS in the northern regions. There are 11 countries which give visa-free entry to Iraqis, and they need to obtain a visa on arrival in 35 countries. Number 3. South Sudan. South Sudan is a landlocked country in East Africa. It is bordered by Sudan, Ethiopia, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Uganda, Kenya, and the Central African Republic. The South Sudanese Civil War was a multi-sided civil war in South Sudan, fought from 2013 to 2020 between forces of the government and opposition forces. The civil war caused rampant human rights abuses, including forced displacement, ethnic massacres, and killings. South Sudanese can travel without visa to 10 countries, and they get visa on arrival in 35 countries. Number 2. Syria. Terrorism and civil unrest within the country are the main reasons why the Syrian passport is among the weakest in the world. Due to the civil war and drug trade, many countries have closed their borders to Syrian citizens. Since 2011, the country has been embroiled in a civil war which has devolved into a costly clash between President Bashar al-Assad and various domestic and foreign forces. In December 2024, President Assad fled the country and the situation now is dangerous. The Syrian conflict has displaced 13 million people and an estimated 5.6 million refugees have fled the country. Syrians are allowed to enter 9 countries without visa, and they get visa on arrival in 31 countries. Number 1. Afghanistan. The recent arrival of the Taliban has led to many countries cutting ties with Afghanistan. Rising unemployment has prompted many people to seek opportunities in neighboring countries. Afghanistan has had a turbulent history, including a series of foreign invasions, violent coups, ethnic and religious conflicts, and a proliferation of terrorist organizations. The US-led forces abruptly withdrew from the country in 2021, leaving a power vacuum that is filled by the Taliban. Overnight, this Islamic fundamentalist group stripped Afghan women and girls of fundamental human rights and violated the constitutional rights of millions more citizens. Only 6 countries in the world allow the Afghans to enter without visa, and 35 countries allow them visa on arrival. So these are the top 10 weakest passports in the world. I hope the situations in these countries get improved and conflicts are resolved soon. Before concluding, I request you to please like, comment and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you.